Thank you, Mr. Farrell. My husband tells me you're a great believer in luck.
We make our own luck, Johnny and I.
I'll have to try that sometime.
Are the boys still waiting outside?
Oh, the boys. I forgot them in Vienna.
Hollywood's golden age is often remembered for its elegance, sophistication, and legendary stars. Yet, behind the shimmering lights and the iconic films, many actresses carried secrets that revealed the price of fame. They lived bold, passionate lives that both inspired admiration and sparked scandal. Tonight, we uncover the stories of 10 unforgettable women, each marked by extraordinary beauty, turbulent love, and battles against inner demons. 10. Barbara Lamar. Barbara Lamar, a silent film star and screenwriter, earned the nickname the girl who was too beautiful. Her breathtaking looks and talent made her a star, but her private life was consumed by excess. Known for believing that sleep was a waste of time, Lamar lived recklessly in Hollywood's party scene. She married 5 times, kept secret lovers, and indulged in non-stop excitement. Sadly, her extreme lifestyle, compounded by illness and drug use, led to her tragic death at just 29. Lamar remains a cautionary tale of how Hollywood's brightest flames often burned out far too quickly. 9. Lupe Velez. Lupe Velez stormed Hollywood with fiery charisma that earned her the nickname the Mexican Spitfire. She captivated audiences on screen, but gained even more notoriety for her wild love life. Velez had high-profile affairs with Gary Cooper, Charlie Chaplin, and Clark Gable. But her romance with Cooper was the most explosive, marked by passion and jealousy so intense that she reportedly once fired a gun at him. When a failed relationship and an unplanned pregnancy left her devastated, Velez ended her life in 1944. Her legacy is one of both brilliance and tragedy, showing how the search for love could become destructive. 8. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth became Hollywood's ultimate sex goddess, most famously in Gilda, where her allure captivated millions. Yet privately, she was shy and longed for genuine love. Her 5 marriages, including those to Orson Welles and Prince Ali Khan, were filled with betrayal and disillusionment. Hayworth often admitted that men only saw her as the fantasy she portrayed on screen, leaving her emotionally unfulfilled. Alcoholism and heartbreak haunted her life, making her one of Hollywood's most tragic beauties. Behind the glamour was a woman imprisoned by the very image that made her famous. 7. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most formidable stars. Her determination and ambition made her an icon, but her personal life was equally dramatic. Crawford's affairs with powerful men and her multiple marriages fueled endless gossip. Known for her manipulative streak, she was accused of using her sexuality to secure roles and power in the industry. Later, her adopted daughter's memoir, Mommy Dearest, painted her as abusive, adding another layer to her controversial legacy. Whether ruthless survivor or misunderstood mother, Joan Crawford's story embodies both the power and the darkness behind stardom. 6. Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield was often described as Marilyn Monroe's biggest rival. With her voluptuous figure and playful charm, she dominated the 1950s and 1960s as a sex symbol. But beyond the headlines, Mansfield lived recklessly. She married 3 times, pursued countless affairs, and openly embraced the playboy lifestyle. Her connections to powerful men, including rumored ties to President John F. Kennedy, added to her notoriety. Obsessed with attention, Mansfield often blurred the lines between her career and her personal relationships. Her life ended tragically in a car crash at 34, leaving behind a legacy as glamorous as it was scandalous. 5. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner was one of the most alluring stars of her time. famous for her marriages to Mickey Rooney, Artie Shaw, and Frank Sinatra.
Did you hear about me, Gabe? If I'd been a ranch, they would have named me the Bar Nothing.
There never was a woman like Gilda, or a picture like Gilda. Columbia's outstanding screen triumph, starring Rita Hayworth.
Though surrounded by Hollywood's elite, Gardner craved simplicity and often retreated to her villa in Spain to escape the spotlight. Her volatile marriage to Sinatra, marked by jealousy and fiery arguments, was one of Hollywood's most infamous romances. Yet their bond endured even after divorce. Gardner admitted she leaned on her looks more than her acting talent, but her independence and refusal to conform made her unforgettable. She lived life on her own terms, even when it meant defying Hollywood itself. 4. Zsa Zsa Gabor. Zsa Zsa Gabor became synonymous with luxury, wit, and unapologetic glamour. Married 9 times and famous for her sharp one-liners, she built her career on her flamboyant persona. Yet beneath the diamonds was a sharp businesswoman who survived wartime Europe and reinvented herself in America. Gabor used her fame to craft a brand long before the concept of personal branding was common. Even after a car accident left her partially paralyzed, she kept her humor alive, proving that her spirit was as dazzling as her image. Zsa Zsa's life blended sophistication, scandal, and resilience like no other. 3. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor remains one of Hollywood's most enduring figures, known as much for her personal life as her acting. With 8 marriages, including 2 to Richard Burton, her romances were legendary. But Taylor's legacy goes far deeper. She battled severe health issues, enduring over 40 surgeries, yet she remained a force in Hollywood. Most significantly, she became one of the first major celebrities to champion AIDS awareness, raising millions through her foundation. Taylor redefined what it meant to be a star. Not just a beauty on screen, but a humanitarian who used her influence to fight for others. 2. Lana Turner. Lana Turner's career soared with her image as MGM's sweater girl, but her personal life was stormy. Her 8 marriages reflected her search for love, but the darkest chapter was her relationship with gangster Johnny Stompanato. Known for his violence and controlling behavior, Stompanato terrorized Turner until her teenage daughter fatally stabbed him during a confrontation. The trial shocked the world, but Turner's testimony and resilience salvaged her career. Beneath her glamorous image was a woman shaped by trauma. Her father had been murdered during her childhood, and her story remains one of survival in the face of devastating scandal. 1. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe embodied Hollywood's fantasy like no other. Born Norma Jean Mortensen, she rose from a childhood in foster homes to become the world's greatest sex symbol. Yet, behind the laughter and blonde bombshell image, Monroe was plagued by insecurity, depression, and addiction. Her marriages to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller ended in heartbreak, deepening her loneliness. Though she was an avid reader with a library of over 400 books, the world rarely saw her intellect. Monroe's mysterious death at 36, ruled a probable suicide, remains surrounded by conspiracy theories, particularly regarding her rumored affairs with President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert. Her story remains the ultimate symbol of beauty, vulnerability, and tragedy. These 10 women defined Hollywood's golden age, not just through their films, but through the scandals, desires, and tragedies that shaped their lives. They lived passionately, often recklessly, but their resilience and humanity continue to captivate us. Their legacies remind us that behind the silver screen lies a world of ambition, sacrifice, and heartbreak. Hollywood gave them immortality, but it also demanded everything in return. And that is why, decades later, their stories still haunt us, because they reveal the true cost of living as legends. If you found this deep dive into Hollywood's hidden past as fascinating as we did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss more untold stories from history's greatest icons. Until next time, keep questioning the myths, and remember, the brightest lights often cast the darkest shadows.